10 bizarre animal mutations. Number 10. Maine lobster catches Chimera. When Alan Robinson went traveling in Bar Harbor, Maine, he, like all commercial fishermen, was hoping for a good catch. What he caught instead was a 1 in 50 million discovery. A chimera occurs when different cells or different species group together to form a single creature, or a person. Yes, there has been human chimeras, who are the genetic equivalent of having non-identical twins in one body. Talk about a great idea for a sequel to Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. This particular two-toned lobster is currently being preserved in Maine's Mount Desert Oceanarium. Number 9. Rhino Mice. Sadly, rhino mice do not have tiny horns and run in mini stampedes with each other. Rather, they're mutated mice afflicted with glandular problems and skin disorders. Their condition leaves them looking like oversized raisins with legs. Here's a picture of either 2 rhino mice from a scientific study or a regular rhino mouse hanging out with Keith Richards. Number 8. Glass sponges can live for 15,000 years. You may think of a sea sponge as something to use to wash your dishes. One not particularly spongy looking one is a hexastynelid, or a glass sponge. A better name would be the Pharrell of the sea, or Keanu Reeves for that matter. Yes, glass sponges are estimated to live up to 15,000 years, making them the oldest living animals on the planet. Scientists think they evolved their current form 700 million years ago, at which point they decided, yep, this is good enough. Number 7. Octogoat, the 8-legged goat. Sometimes animals don't simply grow extra limbs if they lose them. A fusion with an underdeveloped twin sibling in the womb can occur, which is how Octogoat, the 8-legged goat, was born. This Croatian goat also had both female and male organs. Zoran Paperic, the owner of the farm, said, "I count his legs and I thought I was seeing things. Then I called my neighbor to make sure that I'm not crazy. No new information or updates from the farmer since that has been officially said." But that didn't stop Twitter from trying to find out what happened. #we need answers. Number 6. Italian wall lizard rewiring their own guts. In 1971, just 10 Italian wall lizards were placed on an island in Croatia. Soon after that, the Croatian War for Independence halted all plans for research to study these lizards and learn about their new habitat. Scientists were able to return 33 years later in 2004, and they found that 5,000 descendants from the original 10 lizards that not only had survived, but destroyed the entire indigenous lizard population. What's more fascinating about this is that the original 10 were carnivores, but the island had a low supply of insects and a large amount of plants. So instead of migrating away like humans from salad options at a buffet, the lizard developed sessile valves, muscles that slow food digestion, giving them more time to break down plant cellulose. Experts say mutation this quick would be like humans developing another appendix over a few hundred years, or better yet, Americans spontaneously evolving abilities to digest Taco Bell into car fuel. Number 5. Snake with a foot found in China. I woke up and heard a strange scratching sound. I turned on the lights and saw this monster working its way along the wall using his claw, said Dean Quashing from Suning, southern China. Mrs. Quashing, 66, was so scared she got a shoe and killed the dangling intruder before putting it into a bottle of alcohol. Her tactic was much better method than Samuel L. Jackson's. Wouldn't have panicked and yelled, "I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes with these motherfucking legs." The snake was 16 inches long and is now being studied at the Life Science Department at China's West Normal University in Nanchang. Snake expert Lang Shu said, "It's truly shocking, but we won't know the cause until we've conducted an autopsy." Number 4. Elephants are evolving to lose their tusks and avoid poachers. There were about 1 million elephants in 1989 when the international ban on trade of ivory took effect. Of that number, 7.5% of them were being poached each year. Fast forward to today, and less than half of them are left. So the elephants are evolving by responding with mutations and being born without tusks. Queen Elizabeth National Park researchers in Uganda discovered that 15% of female elephants and 9% of males were being born without tusks. Experts hypothesized that making themselves less valuable to poachers by not growing tusks will help them survive. Unfortunately, elephant tusks are used as tools to dig for water and roots, and battle for mate attention. Which means Mother Nature decided poachers are a greater threat to elephants than tusks being grown to collect food and score. Number 3. Frank and Louie, the longest-surviving two-headed cat. Diprosopus is a condition that causes areas of the face to be duplicated. Cats with this condition are known as Janus cats. After the Roman two-headed god, Janus cats can rarely survive. Congenital defects due to digestion problems that slowly starve or cause pneumonia, but Frank and Louie not only survived, he triumphantly used all his 9 lives to purr his way up to 15 years of healthy living, and even made it into the Guinness Book of World Records. That's an accomplishment most people with only one face haven't even done. Number 2. Bdelloids survive by stealing DNA from other species. Bdelloids, which the B is silent, are microscopic organisms that live in fresh water, yet can survive out of water for years. And if that's not weird enough, as a species they haven't had sex in about 80 million years, so don't feel too bad about not getting a date in a while. Experts in species copulation are of the idea that a species reproducing asexually cannot survive, since each generation would be flawed. Bdelloids have defied these odds in the most horrifying way possible. When they analyzed their DNA, scientists found to be a genetic mosaic. A single Bdelloid had DNA from more than 500 different species. These DNA thieves are even able to survive outside of the water for 9 years. Why would they be outside of their natural habitat for that long? Maybe trying to fuse with our strongest land animals and take over the earth, who knows? Number 1. Man with a reptile heart. Imagine you feel the most painful chest pains and you dash to the hospital, hoping you're not going to have a heart attack. The doctors tell you that there's good news and bad news. The good news is that you're not having a heart attack. The bad news is that inside your chest beats a cold heart of a reptile. A 59-year-old man who was admitted to the hospital with symptoms that had doctors and scientists disbelieved until they gave him an x-ray and found that he actually had the heart of a snake. A reptilian heart with only 3 chambers instead of the usual 4. Again, the heart didn't just resemble a lizard's heart. Studies of the organ found that it was a real genetic mutated throwback, a simple case of evolution getting drunk and forgetting which era it's in. Because you probably think this is made up, here is what the scientists had to say. In early stages of embryonic development, the human heart resembles that of a fish. In later stages of development, the human heart, now with fully separated arteria and partially separated ventricle, resembles a reptilian heart.